Hello, everyone.
Hello, welcome to Tea Time.
Welcome to Tea Time.
Glad you're here with us. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much for joining.
Yes, wonderful. You were going to talk about something new, I think.
Well, I was going to talk about my tea first.
Oh, okay, talk about tea. Well, that's new. It is a new tea to our house.
I got a new tea. I kind of ripped the box, didn't I? Okay. I was in the bulk barn yesterday, and I got this spice dragon red chai. It's from a company called Stash. So it's GMO free, which is great. And it's caffeine free, which I like. So it is cinnamon, rooibos, ginger root, and clove. So fantastic ingredients.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know.
And it tastes like a chai tea, which is nice as well. I was just looking for something that didn't have the black tea in it because it just has more caffeine. So specifically in the afternoon or evening, it's nice to have something a little bit,
So a rooibos tea is caffeine free.
Normally, yeah. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. Unless they add a black tea into it or something. So,
Right.
And what did you choose for yourself today for tea?
Organic roasted dandelion root. I don't know if I featured this one before. Now the box is ripped to get into that, but that's a traditional medicinal, and it's organic. So it is, just the root. It's roasted dandelion root, which we got a kitten that wants it. It's got a very earthy flavor or a chocolatey flavor to it. The roasted root is quite nice.
Some people use it as a substitute for coffee because it does have a very dark flavor or dark color to it, and it's also got that bitter note to it, the same that coffee does.
That's a good word.
Yeah. So, and there's a few ways that you can use dandelion root. Well, I'll get into it next time. But
sure.
Yeah, that's used as a tea. So you've got it as a tea, but you can grind it and then use it more like a coffee. So really the dried root, and the coffee is when you make coffee with it, you really like, if that was a coffee, you'd put in like 2 or 3 bags. So make it really strong.
Oh,
but it is caffeine free.
This is fine for me. I wouldn't want any more potency for myself, but sure, someone who likes, and I'm not a coffee drinker, so
but the dandelion
this is about as close to coffee as I get.
Root is good for liver detoxification, so really helpful for your detoxification system. So yeah, that's good. I like it.
That's good. That's a good segue. You want to do that?
Do what I did this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So the Dandelion Root Tea, you went on a shop, which you can tie it in where that comes full circle. But you went to a workshop this weekend.
Weekend. The little village of Enterprise, they have an event called Seedy Saturday. So basically, if you have any seeds that you want to donate, you can, and then you can go and take seeds. But along with that, they had a few vendors there, and then the vendors were each doing presentations. So it was really fantastic. I loved it. I mean, there wasn't too many people there, but I stayed like all day. But the first one was on propagating your wild fruit trees. So lots of information there, but basically how to prune your wild fruit trees so that they can bear more fruit, and then also how to propagate. So I could go to my mom's and take a snip off of her apple tree that she bought from like Canadian Tire, and then I can graft it and then graft it onto my wild apple tree, and then it will create like Macintosh or whatever it was. So anyway, it had some instruction on that.
The whole tree or just that limb?
Just that limb. Yeah. So that was really good. Another presentation on growing your own microgreens. So that was wonderful as well. And then there was a presentation on beekeeping 101. So I don't know if you guys know, but I bought bees. So I'm going to be a beekeeper this summer. So wish me luck on that endeavor. So beekeeping 101, that was a lovely woman from Tamworth who owns an Airbnb with a beekeeping experience. It's called the Bee Spot. So that was really quite awesome. And then the other presentation that there was another one on, having backyard chickens. And then the other presentation was on dandelions. And so the benefits of dandelions. And there was a woman there, Deborah Richmond, and she's a local woman. Maybe you guys have heard of her, and she's a nurse. And she has wrote this cookbook on dandelions. So it is like thick, like look how many pages. So those are all recipes, just like food recipes on dandelions, not to mention what you can do with the dandelions to make salves and use it for healing properties as well. So yeah.
So these are recipes with the root and the leaf.
And the flower.
And the flower.
And the bud before it flowers.
Before it flowers. So there's benefits to each of those.
Yeah.
Well, you'll read more and learn more.
Yeah, I'll read and learn more. So anyway, that was really exciting.
Cool.
Yeah, I was right in my glory. I had a fantastic weekend, especially spending time there. So that was good.
Cool. And yes, this is still just the end of March. So we're wrapping up on our movement month.
Yeah.
And do we want to mention what next month will be? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so next month we are talking about detoxing, and it's a great month to talk about detoxing because we are going to be into spring. It's kind of feeling like winter out there today because it's like -12 and I saw some snow flurries, but in April we're really looking at spring, and spring is a good time to get get out of the winter, kind of eating those like heavy foods and move on to lighter foods, and really paying attention to your body, making some changes to help your body detox and prep for the summer. So we're going to focus on that on our tea time for April. But I'm going to put a plug in for my membership program. So the Eat, Heal, Thrive community, which is only $27 a month, so much content, so much content. And we're going to be focusing on detoxing as well. So I'm going to be working with the members in that community to look at different ways that they can detox, ask them personally, what do you think you're going to tackle this month, and really encourage everybody to do some kind of detox. So send me a message if you'd like to join that. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm excited.
Cool.
I was gonna ask how your week was going because I just talked about it.
Yeah. Last week was fantastic. I did.
You were busy.
I was busy with the energy medicine sessions. Trying to think now. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe there were five sessions last week. Yeah, it was great. It was it's wonderful.
Do you want to show us your new tuning fork that you got?
Yeah, the sessions were great. So,
and I don't know if anybody's even seen your tuning forks at all. So
no,
why don't you start with the first one that you bought and then move to the
Sure. So with energy medicine, the tuning fork would be a tool to use during an energy medicine session to help move energy. So everything is energy, and everything is therefore vibrating as energy. And so essentially, if you want to say everything is also, you could say everything is sound. So anyway, sound therapy, tuning forks can help to disrupt or move stagnant energy, or can help to direct energy to maybe a space or a place for healing. So this is just a traditional tuning fork. Now this company is out of the States, and I'm going to do videos on, I think I'll do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. So I'll do each of the three. So Tuesday, I'll feature this fork. So this one is a 174 hertz. So certainly there's benefits to what those hertz are about. And there's a hockey puck, and I will explain what that is all about in the videos too. So you can look for that from our Zeal account as a Facebook Live. So I'll talk about Tuesday, tuning fork and puck, what that's all about. And then this is a weighted tuning fork. So it has these weights on the end of the fork, on the prongs. So it's very muted, it's very dull in its sound. This one is set at 144 hertz, and this one also has a boot. And that boot then sitting on the end of the handle, you can then isolate certain areas. So I will feature that on Wednesday. We'll talk a little more about that one. And the latest one, which I just got at the end of last week, is this is called the Sonic Slider. And I forget the hertz. It's 96 point something. It's not imprinted on the fork, but I'll let you know about that. Again, this is a weighted fork, and a little bit difference there. If you can see this one, it's just a little bigger at the Y. This one's almost a little bit more of a Y. they get the right angle on that for you. So they certainly sound different, and what the properties or the effects that they can have are different. And then this one has a handle extender, because the handle would just be normally that girth there. So this extender then allows for use as a sonic slider. So when you check out that video, you'll see how or what the sonic slider portion of that will do.
Not going to tell us that.
No, we're gonna hold it. We're gonna hold out on it. Okay, so those forks are there, and yeah. So I use those often, almost every session. It depends on the person's needs, but I think everybody could use a little benefit with tuning forks. So anyway, the energy sessions were great, and certainly use the forks. So the new one I've just mostly explored myself and just one client, but I'm learning a little bit more about the sonic slider.
I do like the tuning forks. Well, like I usually go when I have headaches, so they do. It feels really great. Remember that one time I had a really bad earache, and I was like, for half an hour, I was just like, just put it there the whole time. But it just felt so good to have it. To have it there. But anyway.
Yeah. Okay. We'll feature those in another video. So yeah, let's come back to movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So movement, right? So we
talked about
working in and working out,
working out,
and differences there. Then we demoed some tips on working out for form and technique and breathing and posture and all those wonderful things. And then our last video, we featured more of yoga, which has work in and work out properties, and we spoke about that. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about like
putting it all together.
Well, putting it all together, yes, but with a little bit of focus on maybe the cardiovascular system or the respiratory system, and how those things might you may want to work out those systems more than another. So I get, as a personal trainer, I get lots of questions about like frequency and how often and how much, but really it boils down to the individual's needs, experience. So it's not, I can't say there's a cookie cutter answer, other than to be active daily is my best advice. To find an activity that you could do daily. I would say walking is number one. You should be looking for, I would say, a minimum 10 to 15 minute walk per day, but some other type of movement that suits your needs or your wants is going to be good. Did you want to expand on that at all, Tricia?
No,
you don't have to.
No.
No, that's fine. Okay. So respiratory and cardiovascular, like, so people talk about cardio, go do my cardio. Again, depending on what your understanding of what cardiovascular fitness is about or what it might be. But
why do most people do cardio?
Well, I believe most people feel they do it. Well, there's probably two.
What's the number one reason people do cardio?
Well, what do you think? Well,
I think because they burn calories, right?
I think that is maybe
unless they're training for an event.
Yeah, that's a common mindset. Yeah, the burning of calories. But certainly, if you're a runner, jogger, or cyclist, or something where you know that that's a major part of your sport or your activity, then absolutely you want to train specific for that and have your off training to in the down times between that, I think would be beneficial. But yeah, a lot of people feel calorie burning from cardiovascular workout is good, and
so what do we think you would burn more calories?
Well, I don't think I know. I don't think I know. I know if you're looking for revving up your metabolism to be in that calorie burning mode, you're going to get far more bang for your buck with a good quality strength training workout, because the cardiovascular workout during, you're going to, if you're approaching it from a calorie standpoint, you're burning calories as you are doing it. But I know a common thing that people like to do is they love to look at the numbers of things, right? So they get on a treadmill, they get on an elliptical, get on a bike, and you look at the calories burned, and then they're like, yes, I burned whatever it is, 500 calories. But you're not factoring in or considering how many calories would you have burned just standing there. Your basal metabolic rate is probably quite high. So for the effort of putting in 20 minutes to get to 500, you probably burn at least half of that just naturally. So
it's a good point.
I am going to just suggest that if you were to do 20 minutes of, and then when the cardio, okay, let's hang on, the cardiovascular workout, when it's done, you're going to have, if you want to say there's an afterburn, right? Because your muscles are fatigued and working from the cardiovascular workout, you might have a little bit of an after effect in that your metabolism is elevated for a shorter time after the cardiovascular workout ends. Mm-hmm. Now, on the flip side, then in a strength training workout, you're, depending on the type of workout, but let's say you're doing a total body workout. So cardiovascular, unless you're using a rowing machine where you're getting the upper body and lower body, if you're just doing cycling, you're just doing elliptical, you're just doing jogging, running, you're working your lower body and upper body. Sure, you're going to have some motion with the running motion, jogging motion. So if you were to do a total body strength training workout, working the muscles of shoulders, biceps, triceps, chest, back, and down through glutes and quads and hamstrings and calves, let's say you did that and you threw in some core in there, you've awakened far more muscle tissue with more intensity on it, which is going to give you, if you're working slow and controlled at a state where the weight is taxing, mm-hmm. your heart rate is going to elevate. So you're going to gain some of the same benefits that you would from a cardiovascular workout during your strength training workout, but the amount of metabolism or calorie burning that you're generating during the strength training, because it's more intense and you're firing up more muscle, the afterburn effect is typically going to last far longer. Mm-hmm. And you've stimulated far more muscle groups often if you're doing, for example, total body workout. So if you're looking for a calorie burn, I'm not saying don't do cardio. You can make your own, you can do your own research and you can look things up. But I'm just saying, if you're looking at that aspect alone, you may find the strength training workout will give you all that and more than just the cardio. But by all means, like I said, if you have a specific sport or recreational activity that you're involved in, by all means, you got to train specifically. If you're a jogger, if you're a runner, if you're a marathoner, if you're a cyclist or whatever it might be, you want to do those things. So there's that as far as calorie burning goes.
Yes, but I mean I guess my interlude with that is that you can get your heart rate up with strength training. You can, your body is strong. Sometimes we don't use enough weight when we're squatting, when we're deadlifting, even when we're doing our chest press or we're doing a row. I know oftentimes when like somebody would start new with us, right, and they'd be doing like a chest press and we'd give them like, I don't know, 10 pounds to start. And they're like, whoa, 10 pounds. And then they do it and they're like, oh, wow, I could do this. Yes, you can do this. Your muscles are strong. And maybe you don't challenge yourself enough either. But when you add that extra weight, your heart has to pump harder to lift that weight. So you can get this nice cardiovascular workout from lifting weights.
And then I'm going to mention that the more variety you have within your training, you're going to find more impact or improvement on all of those systems: muscular system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system.
And by variety, you mean?
Meaning if you yes. So let's say you jog, you do strength training, you do yoga, you do Tai Chi, you do Zumba, you do a variety of different things to work your body, or gardening or something different. Mm-hmm. You're keeping all your joints and muscles all in good working order, and because of that, then you're able to adapt and jump into any new situation quite easily. Mm-hmm. Versus if someone only does strength training, they can go to the gym and be very strong and fantastic at that. But then if I ask that person maybe to try yoga or to move a weight differently, like,
or even put them on a volleyball court or something like that.
Right, into a sporting environment, you may not, that may not carry over. So I'm just saying the variety in your training, in your work in is going to be highly valuable for strength, for endurance, for respiratory, cardiovascular, all of those systems, energetic systems will all gain a different benefit from including a variety of training. So
so don't be afraid to try new things.
Don't be afraid to try new things. And so we let's talk about our online content. So we have individual content for yoga, strength, stretch, dance, and those things. But we do have the all access, and we do have a beginner essential workout channel, which has a great variety in that. But if you're in the all access, you have access to everything.
So what does your week look like?
Yeah, what does your week look like? I guess is what I'm getting at. So I had put together kind of an example. So Tricia's going to share screen here of there you are, a little bit of a share screen that on Monday. Now, again, this is just an example, right? You can pick any way you like, but just there's a vast variety here. So Monday got dynamic stretching.
And dynamic stretching is working in, working out, a little bit of cardio, a little bit of mobility and flexibility.
Yeah, as you start that, it could be gentle, but as you become confident in those movements, you could move with more vigor. So you could increase the cardio and respiratory aspects of that as well.
And then
the dynamic stretch may benefit or lend to activity versus the stretch and relax, which is later in the week. Tuesday, we talk about energy medicine. I think that everyone should be doing some form of energy training or energy medicine or energy exercises daily, even if you just find a 5-10 minute routine. And there is one there on the online content, that energy medicine routine. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so then on Tuesday, if your workout is energy medicine or your work in is energy medicine, you definitely want to make sure, as we said, we recommend you go walking every day for at least 10 minutes. But this is a day maybe you could, schedule like a half-hour walk in if you wanted to, something a little bit longer.
Or maybe if you're a jogger or runner and you could put the energy medicine maybe or something like that. That's a work in. And only a 5 or 10 minute investment, but then that might lend to the benefit of your endurance or the energy in your running or your jogging, your cycling, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Wednesday we got strength training as a variety there, so more definitely workout.
And cardio, it would have cardio.
It would have cardio again if you're choosing to lift weights that are taxing your musculature. I mean, if the goal is you're aiming for 12 reps and you finish 12 and you could have done 12 more. You kind of missed the mark, and you're not going to have the same cardiovascular challenge in that. I'll tell you a story about that in a moment. Of one example, Thursday flowing meditation. So similar to Tai Chi, anything like Tai Chi, Qigong-esque, again, movement with a lot of energy production. Dancing with Tricia is on there, which why don't you talk about that one?
Well, that would be that would definitely be a cardio workout, but can also be a working in if you just kind of get lost in the music and know the steps and just, follow along. So now I wasn't teaching Zumba very regularly for a while, and I just started back a few weeks ago. And
in live.
Yeah. And it's awakened some muscles that I forgot that I had used so much, particularly my ab muscles, because of the shoulder and the hip movement, there's a lot of contraction of those obliques to try to get the hips and the shoulders move. And I was pretty sore for a few weeks. So a little bit of strength training, not a lot, but a little bit in there for sure. But you can focus on it. If I really want that hip to pop up, I can focus on really crunching that ab. So anyway, that's me.
There you go. And then the Saturday suggestion was a stretch and relax.
Or yoga there,
sorry, go ahead.
Like a stretch and relax, or you could even do a yoga fit on that one as well. Yeah,
this is only an example. You could mix this totally. Like if you feel like all you want or your energy is so high and you're just jazzed, your nutrition is great, and your sleep is great, and all you want to do is work out every day, and you want to mix it up that way. That's you got to figure out what works best for you. But then the Sunday says gentle yoga, but it could be any kind of yoga. Anyway, there's a vast variety of stuff. Oh, so my story that I was going to share quick is we could stop sharing that. How if you train in a variety of modalities, then you can kind of jump into a situation and be prepared to get the job done safely, I guess. So we have an old barn on the property that's been taken down, and I had a good friend pop by looking for some wood, a beam out of the pile of wood there. So we dug through the pile and we got a piece, but of course this stuff is heavy when you're talking like a 9x9 around and 8 feet or 8 foot long. But just and then we had a touch of snow, so grip was a bit slippery, but that lifting it end for end up and flipping it over and over and over, the difference
that's a cardio workout.
The cardiovascular workout, like I'm doing all kinds of variety of things, and I could, for example, go for a short 5-minute jog, and my heart rate would be up and my respiration rate would be up. Moving that beam end for end, so different that my body just not accustomed to it. I could do it, but the heart rate, the cardiovascular rate, the respiratory rate were up, not out of control, but far more than I'm used to. Only, and it was strength training, right? It's not like we lifted, got it up, propped it, and then let it fall, and then went to the neck. Had to have a few moments to let that cardio recover. But there's a good example. Something with weight training can be very cardiovascular beneficial. So yeah, so there was that as just as an example that weight training there has cardiovascular benefit.
So let's finish off today with what do you do for cardio?
Mostly, Wim Hofing. And we've talked about that. The breathing technique, just deep breathing for lots of reps, usually 40 deep breaths with breath retention, holding the breath and out. But again, if I were to go out and do a 5 or 10 minute run or jog, my cardiovascular system could sustain that amount of time without, like the last time I ran for 10 minutes was probably in the fall, like months and months ago. And so I'm just, you can train in other modalities and have some carryover. Anyway, that's
plus you walk quite often during the day. And you do some strength training as well.
Some other things. So those systems are not, I'm not starting from scratch, but anyway, there's a different technique to get cardiovascular health and endurance and crossover of oxygen to the bloodstream. How about yourself?
Well, I teach Zumba twice a week, so that's a good cardio workout. And I fluctuate the songs, slow song, fast song, slow song, fast song. So that way it's kind of like an interval workout. And I've planned that for the ladies, even though they don't know it, but I do it for them anyway. And then my yoga fit is can be very, cardio taxing, especially if we're doing a flow, like a sun salutation flow, where it's breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And we're making big moves like lunges to planks, to down dogs, to up dogs, that kind of thing. So that can definitely, by the time you're, through the fourth one, your heart rate's going, and it has to speed up. As your breath speeds up, then the movement speeds up to match your breath, even though, we try to keep it controlled, but sometimes it's difficult to do. So, So, and I walk as well with, with you and the dog. So
with Macy needs to go. Our dog's name is Macy, and Macy loves Tricia so much that she will go wait hours just to go with Tricia, or to sit on the floor and stare at her until she's done enough work that she can have a break to go for a walk with Macy.
She's been staring at me today.
So Macy's looking for movement. She's actually looking at us now. So anyway, I think that's good.
That's
we'll
good.
Wrap up with movement, and we'll be back next week into detox.
Thank you for joining us for our movement series. It was fun to talk about movement, and next week we're getting into detox. If you have any questions about detox, send them our way, and we can talk about them as we go forward. But anyway, have a great week.
All right, cheers. Take care. All the best.